Ever walk into a room and instantly feel like it needs something? Not another candle, not another air freshener that smells like mystery vanilla, but real, living fragrance that makes your space feel alive. That's what we're diving into today. 15 gorgeous houseplants that don't just sit there looking pretty, they actually perfume your home in the most natural way possible. From sweet floral notes that make your living room feel like spring, to fresh herbal scents that turn your kitchen into a mini garden, these plants are basically Mother Nature's answer to Febreze. So stick around, because by the end, you'll know exactly which leafy little air fresheners deserve a spot in your indoor jungle. Arabian Jasmine is a houseplant that brings more than beauty. It releases a sweet evening fragrance that can instantly make your space feel calming and fresh. It grows best in bright, indirect light and prefers soil that stays lightly moist without becoming soggy. A little extra humidity goes a long way, so misting or a humidity tray will keep those glossy leaves and flowers thriving. In spring and summer, it rewards you with clusters of star-shaped white blooms that look elegant and perfume the air like natural perfume. Beyond its charm, Arabian Jasmine has a cultural legacy too. It's used in teas and perfumes, making it both practical and luxurious. With light pruning after blooms fade, the plant stays tidy and produces even more flowers, keeping that cycle of fragrance alive. More than decoration, it adds a romantic, uplifting vibe to any room and feels like having nature's own air freshener indoors. Crimson Cattleya orchid is a showstopper with its large, velvety red blooms that look almost too perfect to be real and release a rich, sweet fragrance that lingers in the air. It thrives in bright, indirect light and does best near an east or south-facing window where it gets plenty of sun without scorching. This orchid prefers a well-draining medium like bark or moss, and watering once the top layer dries out keeps its roots healthy and strong. Humidity is a big deal for Cattleyas, so grouping it with other plants or placing a tray of water nearby helps recreate its tropical comfort zone. Its flowering season brings dramatic, long-lasting blooms that instantly elevate any indoor space into something elegant and luxurious. A fun fact is that Cattleya orchids are often called the Queen of Orchids, once famously used in corsages for special occasions. Regular feeding with a balanced orchid fertilizer during active growth keeps the plant vigorous and ready to bloom again. More than just a fragrant flower, this orchid is a statement piece, turning your living room into a sophisticated garden showcase. Gardenia Buttons is a compact beauty that fills a room with its creamy white blossoms and unforgettable sweet fragrance, often compared to the scent of a luxury perfume. It thrives in bright, indirect light and appreciates a few hours of gentle morning sun to encourage plenty of blooms. The soil should stay consistently moist but never soggy, as gardenias can be a little picky about their roots. Humidity is another must. Placing it near a humidifier or misting lightly keeps those glossy, deep green leaves healthy. When in bloom, usually in late spring and summer, Gardenia Buttons produces clusters of small, rose-like flowers that stand out as much for their scent as their beauty. A charming detail about this plant is that it has long been a symbol of purity and love, often used in weddings and special events. Light pruning after flowering helps keep its shape and encourages more blossoms. Beyond the care, this little gardenia brings an elegant, romantic vibe indoors, making it one of the most rewarding fragrant houseplants you can grow. Porcelain Flower, also known as Hoya, is a stunning houseplant with waxy, star-shaped clusters of blooms that give off a sweet, almost honey-like fragrance in the evenings. It thrives in bright, indirect light and can even handle a bit of morning sun, making it perfect for a window that gets soft light. The soil should be well draining, and it prefers to dry out slightly between waterings, so it's a little more forgiving than fussier plants. Humidity brings out its best, encouraging lush leaves and more flower clusters, so a slightly humid environment will keep it thriving. When it blooms, usually in spring and summer, the flowers look almost artificial, with a glossy finish that makes them look like delicate porcelain ornaments. A fun fact is that Hoyas can live for decades and often bloom from the same spurs each year, becoming a long-term part of your indoor garden. Feeding with a balanced fertilizer during its growing season boosts its chances of flowering generously. More than just a pretty face, Porcelain Flower adds both fragrance and charm, turning any corner into a sweetly scented display. Oncidium orchid Sharry Baby is a favorite among orchid lovers because its clusters of tiny burgundy and white blooms smell just like rich, sweet chocolate, a fragrance that instantly makes any room more inviting. It thrives in bright, indirect light, ideally near an east or south-facing window where it gets enough sun to fuel blooming without harsh rays. The roots prefer a bark-based orchid mix that drains well, and watering once the medium begins to dry keeps it healthy without drowning the roots. During its blooming season, often in fall or winter, the plant can send out long sprays of flowers that last for weeks, filling the air with that signature cocoa-like scent. A fun detail is that Sharry Baby is often called the chocolate orchid, making it a conversation piece as much as a houseplant. With regular feeding and occasional pruning of old flower spikes, it continues to reward with beauty and fragrance, bringing a touch of indulgence to your indoor garden. Stephanotis, often called Madagascar jasmine, is a classic fragrant houseplant known for its clusters of pure white, tubular blooms that release a soft, sweet perfume, especially in the evening. It does best in bright, indirect light with a touch of morning sun, making it a great choice for a sunny window that isn't too harsh. The soil should be well draining and kept evenly moist, as this plant dislikes drying out completely but won't tolerate soggy roots either. Its glossy green leaves and vining growth make it perfect for training around a trellis, turning it into a decorative focal point as well as a fragrant one. Blooming mainly in spring and summer, its flowers are often used in bridal bouquets, symbolizing purity and happiness. Beyond the scent and beauty, Stephanotis adds a timeless elegance to any room, creating a fresh and romantic atmosphere indoors. Plumeria Aztec Gold is a tropical gem that instantly stands out with its golden yellow, pinwheel-shaped flowers that give off a rich, sweet fragrance reminiscent of island breezes. It thrives in bright, direct sunlight for several hours a day, making it perfect for a sunny spot indoors or a patio during warm months. The soil should be sandy and well-draining, and watering deeply but allowing the soil to dry slightly between waterings keeps its roots strong. During summer, it produces clusters of vibrant blooms that not only smell incredible but also bring a cheerful, exotic look to your indoor garden. A fun fact is that plumerias are the flowers traditionally used in Hawaiian leis, celebrated for their fragrance and symbolism of welcome and friendship. More than just a plant, Plumeria Aztec Gold brings a slice of the tropics into your home, lifting the mood with both its scent and sunny personality. Improved Meyer lemon is a citrus favorite that doubles as both a fruiting plant and a natural air freshener, filling your home with the refreshing scent of blossoms and ripening lemons. It thrives in bright, direct light for several hours a day, so a sunny south-facing window or a grow light setup works best indoors. The soil should be well draining and kept consistently moist, but not soggy, to support steady growth and flowering. Its glossy green leaves and fragrant white blooms often appear throughout the year, followed by small, sweet lemons that are prized for their flavor in drinks and desserts. A fun detail is that Meyer lemons are actually a cross between a lemon and a mandarin, which explains their sweeter taste and softer fragrance. More than just a plant, this compact citrus tree adds both beauty and utility to your space, offering fresh fruit and a zesty scent that instantly brightens any room. Paperwhites Ziva are elegant winter bloomers that brighten up indoor spaces with clusters of starry white flowers and a strong, sweet fragrance that can easily fill an entire room. They thrive best in bright, indirect light and are often grown indoors during colder months since they don't require much warmth to bloom. Planting them in well-draining soil or even in decorative containers with pebbles and water makes them easy to grow, as they don't need much fussing over. Their blooms typically appear in late fall and winter, lasting for weeks and adding a fresh, festive touch when most other plants are resting. A fun fact is that paperwhites are part of the narcissus family, cousins to the classic daffodil, which explains their bold scent and cheerful appearance. Beyond their fragrance, they bring seasonal charm and elegance, making them perfect for tabletops, windowsills, or holiday displays. Hyacinth Apricot Passion is a springtime charmer, loved for its tall spikes of peachy apricot blooms that release a sweet, heady fragrance strong enough to perfume an entire room. It thrives in bright, indirect light indoors and prefers a cool spot while it's blooming, which helps the flowers last longer. The bulbs do best in well-draining soil kept slightly moist, but not soggy, to avoid rot. When in bloom, usually in early spring, the dense flower clusters stand upright and bring both color and scent, making them a natural focal point. A fun fact is that hyacinths have been cultivated since ancient times and were once considered luxury flowers prized for their fragrance. More than just a seasonal bloomer, Apricot Passion adds a burst of fresh scent and soft color to indoor gardens, turning any corner into a lively spring display. Scented Geranium Grace Thomas is a delightful plant that combines pretty, ruffled green leaves with a fresh, rosy fragrance released every time you brush past or touch it. It thrives in bright, direct light for several hours a day, making a sunny windowsill or balcony its happy place. The soil should be light, well-draining, and allowed to dry slightly between waterings, as this geranium dislikes sitting in soggy conditions. During spring and summer, it may produce small clusters of pink blooms, but its main attraction is the aromatic foliage that keeps your space naturally fresh year-round. A fun fact is that scented geraniums were once popular in Victorian homes, where they were grown indoors specifically for their fragrance and used in teas and potpourri. Beyond its charm, Grace Thomas adds a lively, refreshing scent to your indoor garden, making it as practical as it is beautiful. Patchouli is a bold, aromatic houseplant best known for its earthy, musky fragrance that has been used for centuries in perfumes, incense, and essential oils. It thrives in bright, indirect light but can also handle a few hours of gentle morning sun, making it fairly adaptable indoors. The soil should be rich and well-draining, kept evenly moist without ever becoming soggy, since patchouli loves consistency. Its broad, soft green leaves are the source of its signature scent, releasing more fragrance when rubbed or brushed. A fun detail is that patchouli was once used to protect fabrics from moths, giving it both practical and aromatic value in homes. With regular pruning, it stays bushy and full, rewarding you with lush foliage and an ever-present natural perfume. More than just a plant, patchouli adds a grounding, cozy atmosphere to your indoor garden, perfect for anyone who loves warm, earthy scents. Lavender Little Lady is a compact, fragrant charmer that fills your space with the calming scent of fresh lavender while staying small enough to fit perfectly on a windowsill. It thrives in bright, direct sunlight for several hours a day, so a sunny south-facing window is ideal. The soil should be sandy, well-draining, and allowed to dry slightly between waterings, since lavender dislikes sitting in moisture. Its silvery green foliage pairs beautifully with the spikes of purple blooms that appear in summer, bringing both color and fragrance indoors. A fun fact is that lavender has long been used to promote relaxation and better sleep, making this plant a natural choice for bedrooms. With light pruning after flowering, Lavender Little Lady stays neat and encourages new growth for another round of blossoms. More than just a pretty plant, it adds a soothing, spa-like feel to your home, keeping both the air and your mood fresh. Peppermint is a refreshing houseplant that instantly livens up your space with its cool, minty fragrance released whenever you brush past its leaves. It thrives in bright, indirect light but can also handle a little morning sun, making it easy to grow on a kitchen windowsill. The soil should be rich, moist, and well-draining, since peppermint loves consistent watering without getting waterlogged. Its vibrant green leaves are not only aromatic but also edible, perfect for fresh teas, desserts, or garnishes right at home. A fun fact is that peppermint is actually a natural hybrid of spearmint and watermint, which explains its bold flavor and strong scent. With regular trimming, the plant stays bushy and produces even more fragrant leaves throughout the year. More than just a herb, peppermint adds freshness, flavor, and a clean scent that makes any indoor garden feel instantly more alive. Rosemary Spice Island is a fragrant herb that brings both beauty and bold aroma to your indoor garden, filling the air with its warm, pine-like scent that instantly feels fresh and invigorating. It thrives in bright, direct light for 6 to 8 hours a day, so a sunny south-facing window is the perfect spot. The soil should be sandy and well-draining, with watering kept on the lighter side. Let the top inch dry before watering again, since rosemary dislikes wet roots. Its upright growth and needle-like leaves make it a decorative yet practical plant, especially when trimmed into small topiary shapes. A fun fact is that Rosemary Spice Island is prized for its high oil content, which makes its leaves extra flavorful for cooking and extra fragrant for the air. With regular pruning, it stays compact and produces more tender shoots that you can harvest fresh for the kitchen. More than just a culinary herb, it's a year-round source of fragrance, flavor, and rustic charm indoors. And that's our tour of 15 fragrant houseplants that don't just look good but also keep your home smelling incredible. Whether you're after sweet florals, citrusy freshness, or cozy herbal notes, there's a plant here that can transform your space. Try adding one or a few to your indoor garden and let nature take care of the air freshener. If you enjoyed this list, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick around for more plant inspiration.